Welcome, welcome, welcome to another segment of Conversate and Elevate. If you have been tuning in to Seek ELLAvation, then you know on the Conversate and Elevate segment, I am doing the Impact 26 series where I identify 26 impactful individuals that can pour so much into you. If you're hungry, they can feed you. So let's jump in today. I have the uncomparable Desi-Ray, who is absolutely amazing. And I think that this is really important because of the sector in the industry that she deals with, but also just her as a holistic, amazing gift and talent to the world, who hopefully can spark a light in your talent to know that you are amazing gift and talent in this world. Desi-Ray, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, good. I am really good. No complaints this way at all. I could, but there's no reason why, because I got too many blessings to do that.
Okay.
So let people know who Desi-Ray Morris is.
Who is Desi-Ray Morris?
Mm-hmm.
Desi-Ray is an innovator. I am a creative. I am a vessel. I am one of a kind. And yeah, so that's
Can we just put a pin in the vessel and one of a kind, because that is so true. I mean, I think that people really underestimate the power of the tongue and belief to get to a stage to recognize what you are. Like when I say, who am I? Who am I are those things, vessel and one of a kind. What I do may be other things,
right,
which pours out from the vessel. So I want to put a pin in how you describe that. So for those listening, really, really pay attention to how you describe who you are. We all are vessels, and whatever you're doing, you're one of a kind. Even if you're doing what you're doing in a saturated industry, you're one of one. You're one of one, because there's no way whatever's supposed to come out is going to come out identically in someone else, because one, you're already different. So it's going to make it different, but you're one of a kind. So let's talk about that, Miss Vessel, one of a kind, because I want to go back a little bit.
Okay.
For those who may not know, I already know Desi-Ray before like all of this stuff. Desi-Ray is like an athlete in life, right? So you see her, and if you don't know who she is, I'm sure you're going to be Googling who she is before this is over. You'll see her as an athlete on the stage and creating art through her dance and expression. But she also was an athlete on that track now. So she was one of my track athletes, ran the hurdles, very focused, very disciplined. But during that time of coaching her, we always also talked about this dream she had as well. So she even realized then, right, I'm multifaceted. Like I'm not just this athlete here, and also danced. So I came from a PWI, which is a predominantly white institution, and then got a head coaching job at a historical Black college and university. So I was Christian big time on a lot of different stuff, right? I remember the first time when the athletic director was bringing me into FVSU, he wanted me to attend a game that they were having. And when I sat there, I walked in thinking I was about to attend a regular game. And when the music and beats and drums and things hitting the band and the dancers was, what? I said, wait, we could do this. Wait, we could do this. And so Desi was killing it then. So let's go back to your college years. So back up, you led, or how did that start when you was part of the dance squads? And are those majorettes, or correct me if I'm wrong, what is that called when you the whole dance crew in college?
Was on dance teams. I was on the Dancing Doll Divas. We call it 3D, and that's majorette. So that's with the band, the Blue Machine Marching Band. And then I was also on Phases Dance Troupe, and that was the basketball dance team. So I was doing Phases, Dancing Dolls, and track, along with Delta and everything else. Like
already working hard. So you already was laying that foundation. So when you started with the dance squad on both, how did you start? Did you start where obviously you weren't leading? Like where did that all come from? Back us up a little bit on how you even got to that point.
Okay, so I auditioned so I started with Phases Dance Troupe. I auditioned my freshman year, and I made the team. And what's funny is that, so I ran track my whole life, track. That's all I knew. That's all I, like, everything track. And softball as well. And so I had been running for so long that I didn't get a college scholarship like I wanted to, for whatever reasons. And so I was like, okay, I'll go in college as a walk-on. But while in high school, I love dancing. So I was on the step team, you know, I was on the Atlanta Bomb Squad. Like, I literally was staying active dancing as well. And then, you know, track took a lot of my time. So, like, and I couldn't be on a dance team. So I would do talent shows. And then I started winning every talent show every year. So I'm like, okay, you got this. And then graduating high school, I was like, I don't know if I want to do track anymore. It took a lot of time, so I want to dance. So I was like, let me go. You know, I went to Fort Valley, tried out for phases, auditioned, made it. I wanted to do Dancing Dolls, but I had missed the audition. So my sophomore year is when I auditioned for the Dancing Doll Divas, and I made it. And then that's when I had started training. When I came to Fort Valley, I started training with cross country my freshman year. And I was like, oh, this not it for me, because cross country and regular track, that's two different. I was like, everybody, because people heard about me, they were like, yeah, come run. And I'm just like, I want to run, but I could never make the practices because the practices were the same time as dance practice. So it didn't work. But like I said, my sophomore year, I focused solely on just Dancing Doll Divas. That was just with the band. And then my junior year is when I started picking up the load, and I did phases. I did basketball season phases. I did the band football season, and that's, you know, when I crossed, and that's when I started running track, and I made it work.
You made it work, but bring us back to, because like you said, you tried out a little bit before in high school. You're like, okay, I could do this. What was your mentality? What was your process in going out there? You performed your first time. Now you go to college. What is your mental process in, I'm gonna try out for this? Like, what does that look like? What did you have then?
I used to be afraid to say this, and I'm proud of myself that I can say this now, and I've learned this just in acting classes. I want to be a star, and I knew then I wanted to be the star, and I used to be afraid to say I want to be a star, but I want to be the star, and I still want to be the star, and I feel like I have so much more to offer. So I know that I'm different. That's why I say I'm one of a kind. I know that I don't think like anybody else. I know that I'm creative. I've always, in school, anytime we had projects, I was always highlighted because I always try to think of a method that someone wouldn't think of. Like, what's one way to get everybody's attention, or, you know, showcase this that somebody else wouldn't think of. I didn't want to be boxed in on what people expected. So I've always been this creative that's just different. And so when high school talent shows, I used to do talent shows with friends. And then it was my junior year where it kind of had I did it by myself. That was my first time. I was with a group, didn't work out. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this by myself. And people's like, oh, she's not going to do good. Da, da, da. And stuff like that fuels me. So I was like, I felt like I had something to prove. I did the talent show by myself, went viral on YouTube. This is when YouTube wasn't even big, went viral, and it was just like, I can do it. And then, you know, the following year, did it again. I was like, I can do this. Like, you have the potential to be the star you want to be. But it took for that talent show, my first time alone on the stage, literally put on production. You can go look at it on YouTube. Desi-Ray killing it. But that was my first time literally having props, everything showcasing that I could do it. And then when I got to college, and I was like, okay, this is different. But again, I still want to do it. I want to showcase what I can do. Auditioned, and I got it. And then from there, it just took off. But it's crazy because people knew about me before I knew about them. So I had already been making noise and didn't even know it. And that just lets you know, you never know who's watching you. So I always stay on your stuff. You know, if you really true to your craft, you gotta stay putting in the work to make sure the outcome is what you want it to be.
Put in the work, but also have that foundation of immovable belief, immovable faith, immovable knowing. So although, like you said, at one point you were afraid and, you know, kind of timid to express what you felt it. You had something that no one had to teach. And one thing I always tell people, especially as a coach, there's things that people can teach, and there's things that is not teachable. You just have it. It's innate. Right. And the only thing that a coach can do is guide something out. And one of the things that was innate in you is that you knew that you are a star. In translation, you know that you're a bright light. And I was listening to Oprah was talking about something from somebody who was on her show, and the person was talking about that, you know, he doesn't believe in anything, you know, religiously or nothing, but he did have an experience where he was on a plane and it was a horrible situation that happened on the plane. He was able to make it off, but the plane, you heard that? And then the one thing he did say when he looked back was he seen a bunch of light escaping people by. And it made me think about, because we're light beings and we're encapsulated in these physical, you know, tangible things in order for us to use as tools to do whatever we're supposed to do as a light. And so when you just said that, it made me think about, you know, you're a star, but in translation, that means you know that you are an illuminated light, and you know that you want it to shine. You know that it's supposed to shine bright. You see what I'm saying? And so when you said that, it's the only thing I literally came to my heart and mind. And that's what we have to realize, is that we are lights. And when we don't recognize it, we're dim inside. And we always talk about purpose and journey. Our purpose is to rediscover how to illuminate our lights and shed that literally on all the lights around us. And you already knew. So when you went to the audition, you said, listen, I know I'm illuminated light. Yeah. I didn't come out here and shine. I ain't got time to be dim with anybody else. And also I don't have time for anybody to dim my light, because the more you try to dim my light, the more it's going to seep through all those little holes that you know, the darkness have. So that is cool. So now you audition, you made all of them. How did you make it all balanced? Because you not just on, you know, track, team, dance, you're also a student, right? So what did that all look like? How did you tap in?
Student with a job.
With a job.
Yes. So I look back today and I say, how did you do that? Like, you're crazy. But it's so crazy because I do it now. Like,
I'm about to say,
I've always been I've always had a crazy schedule. Like, literally always had a crazy schedule. So but how I controlled it and stayed on task and stayed focused and made sure I was here and there and there. I had to create a calendar. So I had a dry erase board, and I literally would, you know, with the big calendar, I would write out everything I had to do, like what day, so I could see what day I had practice, what time I would get out. Literally on the side where it says notes, I would write out my daily schedule. So, okay, wake up 5 a.m. we got weight training. Okay, boom. 5 this we got weight training. You got an 8 a.m. class. Okay, boom. After that, 10 a.m. you got track practice from this time to this time. You got this time to study. You have this time. They literally had a schedule aligning how much time I had to sleep, to eat, everything from the time I had to get up to the time I had to go, you know, get home. And the latest practice sometimes, especially when homecoming season, we weren't getting out of practice till 1 o'clock in the morning. So schedule is important. And then with that schedule, I would have an agenda as well. So I would copy it. So I would see, okay, throughout the day, because, you know, I can't take the dry erase board with me. So my agenda was very important for me. And then also in organizing to make sure that I was able to stay on track, I would pack my lunch. So I knew that if I didn't have enough time to like actually stop and eat, my teachers were very understandable with knowing my schedule. And because I did my work and I was always on time, I always did what I was supposed to do, they didn't have a problem with me. Like, okay, we know she just came from track practice and she's sweaty and she in class, but she hungry. So I'm gonna let her eat. So, you know, I just made sure I kept snacks on me, fruit, like I kept food on me. So that way I stayed hydrated throughout the day with the craziness going on. But yeah.
Well, in other words, translation, discipline and focus. A lot of times, a lot of individuals want to do what everyone is doing, but they don't want to do what everyone have to do. And what they just see is, I like that, and don't realize what separates, you know, that 2% from the 98 is literally understanding the discipline and focus that it takes for you to literally illuminate your light. So that's what I heard when I heard all that. So it's preparing you with discipline and focus. But before I go there, I want to step back a little bit. And you want to illuminate your light. Was there anyone around you that either you saw did that and you said, I know I had that light like that, or were the people around you like, I know we can illuminate brighter and I want to be that one? What did that look like around Desi growing up, with pushing you towards that direction?
What do you mean?
Like for me, around my family, I knew everything that I seen that there was potential for the lights to be shown brightly, but they didn't see it, right? So I wanted to be that one that said, you know what? I know generational curses, generational breakthroughs. I'm that one that can illuminate this light, and we're all going to be good and our light's going to go up. I really didn't have those individuals around me that I said, oh, I see that light, and that's why I know I have that light. I seen those around me to say, I know we have brighter lights. I'm going to go ahead and take charge. And that was part of my motivation of illuminating my light.
For me, so what's funny, a lot of people don't know is that I used to be shy, like super shy to even stand in front of any type of crowd, any audience, anything. But I was very involved. And so I remember the first time that I stepped out into the light was I was at a cookout. And I knew I could dance. I knew these things about me, but nobody else knew because I was so shy. They just knew I could run track. And this was, again, I had to be probably 7 years old at a cookout. And I was like, you know what, I'm about to dance. And I just bust out, started dancing. And everybody was like, oh, we didn't know you had all that in you. And so from there, it was like, they knew, my family, I've always, again, been involved. They've never stopped me from anything. I'm the one that tries everything. Des, and they call me Des. So Des want to cheer? Okay, boom, she gonna cheer. Des want to run track? Oh, boom, she wants, Des want to draw. She wanted, anything I wanted to do, they was always supportive in. And it's so crazy because they tell me, every day, they're so proud of me and my mind. I've always had a mind of my own and been very determined from youth. I want to do this, I'm gonna do it. I put my mind to it, very involved in everything. So yeah, my support system very go for it. And then like you said, I'm the one, I feel like they call me the celebrity of the family. Even though I'm not, I feel like I'm regular, my accomplishments are what it is, but I'm so humble. So, but they say that because I literally I'm the life of whatever. We at a cookout, I'm getting everybody. Let's have a good time. It's all about enjoying moments. I'm the one that's gonna speak to you. I'm gonna have a conversation with you. I can have the uncomfortable conversation, have the good conversations. I can give advice. I can give back. I literally am the one that's always the glue to everything. So yeah.
Well, shout out to family. Shout out to your support. Shout out to all of you that was around Desi that definitely seen that light that has blessed the world. But I do see what they mean by celebrity, because I've got the same thing running track, running professionally. It's not celebrity in that sense. Celebrity just means celebrated, right? Okay. And so we are celebrated individuals. And that's what the family feel, is that we're literally showing them we carry a lot. We carry that, heavy is the head that wears the crown. We carry with our capabilities for our whole family. So we are the celebrated ones, and then they're also celebrated too, because without them, there's no us either. So we're all celebrated together. So I definitely get that. All right, so now let's go into college, and now you're starting to segue into looking into these opportunities outside. And there's times that we have conversations, like you said, people didn't believe in you or things were hard. What should you do? What did that look like when you decided I want to step out and start auditioning now outside of college to get some opportunities? What did that role look like for you?
Professional to be
professional.
For me, again, I've always been hungry, in a sense, because what I want, I know I can get, but it's just the fact of how I'm going to get there. So and then just I feel a lot of it comes with being an athlete. You're competitive, so you want to make sure, okay, if I have a goal to this, how I'm going to get that goal, how am I going to tackle it? Even with dance, I used to battle with dance, and that's really how it started. So I've always been like, okay, what's up? I'm not scared of nothing, especially with me being small. People already underestimate you, and that comes well, she running hurdles. Like, you shortest one at the line. Yeah, what's up? Like, I felt like I always had to prove myself to people. So when I, post college or that process to get into auditioning, I was a business management major and marketing minor, and we had to have an internship that was part of us graduating. So my internship, and it actually had to be in the field that you were choosing to do once you graduated. So I was like, okay, let me find a dance studio. Found one. And when I went to the dance studio and I interviewed with the manager, which was so funny because she ended up being an alumni of Fort Valley, which I had no idea. But I didn't go in there with the mindset of like, because it came with free classes. I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to take free classes. I had to actually learn how to run a studio. What are the operational benefits of a dance studio? Learned all of that. Well, that's why she hired me, because I didn't come in there just as an opportunist wanting to dance. So learned the behind the scenes, and then I started training, and that was really my first time training. So here I am. And I say this for people. I get a lot of people in my DMs like, I'm this old. I feel like I'm late. I did not start training until I didn't start 5 years old, training. No, I started when I was 19 years old, actually training in a dance studio. So I started late too. I felt like I had to play catch up, but I used all that the whole summer to just continuously train. A thing in the dance studio, so funny, I was talking with one of my peers about this, is back then it used to be, if you go to the back of the classroom, you used to be afraid, you go in the front of the classroom where all the people that's good, that's where it was, but now it's the other way around. But I was at the front every time. I would get next to people that I knew were better than me, because I'm like, I might not be as good as you, but I'm going to be. Let me watch what you're doing, because you are here, and let me try to take notes, you know what I'm saying? So I can better myself in my craft and learn to get where I need to get, or get where you are, because you already are successful. So from the beginning, people again, like, who is this girl? Who's the short girl? Like, literally. And they seen the power I had. I just didn't know how to use it. I didn't know how to control my body. So that whole summer, trained, and then audition. I'm taking class, minding my business, taking class. I didn't know nothing about a resume, dance resume. I didn't know anything about, I didn't know any dance etiquette as far as professionalism. I didn't know how the business worked. I just knew I wanted to dance. So I'm in class, Seek ELLAvation, mentor, love her, taking her class. And it was some artists that walked in. It would be a thing where artists and managements and labels would come in the classroom and they would just scout. And so you had a lot of the people who were signed to agencies, they were already dressed. They were like beat down dressed. And I'm looking like, why everybody so dressed up? I'm in there some sweatpants and a t-shirt, just regular, like not knowing what's going on. Didn't know nothing. So I didn't know it was an audition. It was a live audition. We're taking a class, the choreographer's teaching. And at the end of the class, the artist was like, that's when she said, oh yeah, thanks for coming to the audition. I was like, huh? I'm just taking class. And she was like, okay, I want to choose my dancers now. And she selected me. And so everybody was like, they literally was, how? She's not dressed. She's not, but she seen that I had what she wanted for her job. So that was my first paid job. It was V103 Car and Bike Show. And from there, Kiki Eli, I credit her a lot because she was one of the ones in the industry, like legend, took me in and literally taught me like, okay, so this is how you do it. We got to groom you. And so from there is where, with her convention, she had ATLA takeover, and then I would attend a lot of conventions just to try to seek more knowledge. And that's how I was able to be more knowledgeable for these auditions. But that was my first one, and I didn't even know it was an audition. Like,
oh, wow, that's powerful. First of all, let's talk about how owning who you are supersedes anything that's supposed to be written down, meaning anything people say, oh, it has to be this way. It's dotted this way and crossed that way. When you own who you are, things are going to move the way they're supposed to move and shift the way they're supposed to shift. Like you said, you didn't even know. But the one thing you knew about you is I'm seizing this opportunity that's here. One, you went in to learn something where it was more than about dance. So you already had a different mentality, but you were in there, didn't have to look like everybody else. A lot of people, we're clonish. Get out of that. Yeah. Know and understand what's you. Because even me moving in the areas I move in as an attorney and other stuff, people say, aren't you supposed to dress like this? And people were shocked when I was wearing my afro. I'm me. I'm bringing me to whatever these things are. And they're so shocked of how the rooms I was able to get into and the tables I sat at or the tables I created, because I know it needs me and I own me. And what you just said is confirmation to that. And I want people to hear that. You don't have to change your stripes. Like, you have those for a reason. Own what it is that you're supposed to own and move in it. When those things you're supposed to change or up level, it will happen. But don't change to try to fit in. I love that you said that. That was power. Like, man, I felt that. That was power. Yeah. All right, so that was your first audition. You got that. But now everything is not peaches and cream, roses. There's times, like you said, those people just kind of looked at you because they didn't understand. But you're going to have people that are the decision makers, right? You're going to have different things you're going to come up against when you know that you know that you know in your heart, I know this was mine. What happened? What does that look like? What have your experience been like, that period, the ups and downs behind?
I experienced that. So, that, mind you, when I did the audition, I was still in college. So my goal wasn't even to book because I knew I was still in school. So, and then just from training, I did get offers like, from managers like, hey, they want to sign me. Like, you have a lot of potential. I did get those offers, but it was, you take this offer or you drop out of school. I'm not dropping out.
Yeah.
School. I got one more year. I'm like, I didn't work this hard to just quit now. So I told them if it was meant for me, it'll be here when I get out. And I just stood 10 toes on that. I didn't, a lot of times you got to move off of faith. We move off of fear. You got to move off of faith. No, we don't know the outcome, but if you believe in yourself and you know you're going to be good, it's going to be good. You're going to be straight. So went back to school, finished, graduated. Then post college, it was like, okay, back in the studio. So now I'm at various studios because now I have a little more knowledge. Started going to conventions. I went to my first convention when I graduated, and that was my first, I can say, real audition that I was aware of. So it was a weekend convention that actually taught dancers like, okay, this is how you do things. This is how a resume should look, everything like that. Got in the room with some legendary judging panel. Oh, they ripped me to shreds. And one thing about me, again, being an athlete, you have to have thick skin. So as bad as I wanted to cry on the inside, I was like, nope, Stan, you take it because it's all going to help you later on. And it's so funny because I've been booked by half of the people that was on that judging panel to this day. You know what I'm saying? But it was just elevating and moving along with the business. It has been auditions I didn't get. And I understood maybe it was like, okay, I wasn't ready. Maybe I wasn't skilled enough. It with the industry, it could be so many other things. Sometimes it's not even your talent, because I will say one audition I did, without giving too much context, was an audition I did. I know I killed the audition. I know I did. And I did not get it. And I didn't get it because politics. So a lot of times you can have the talent, but because of politics, you're still not gonna get the job. Like, and that could be, it could be typecast. Like, you might not been the right body type or the right height or the right hair, or it could be as simply as they knew who they wanted and they knew the people that they wanted could deliver the job. And it's like, even though, yeah, you're dope, I don't know if you can deliver. I don't know if you're going to fold under pressure when I actually book you on a job. So it was politics as to why I didn't get it. But everybody in that room knew I was supposed to get it. I was still invited to go to the job and see, like, as a stand-in, to see, like, okay, this is how it's supposed to go. So while I was there, and this I just got chills thinking about this, because I remember I made a Facebook post and I literally said I was so excited I got to go. I didn't even care. I mean, I wanted the job, but I didn't get it, but I got to go and soak it in. And I was like, okay, so this is how it is. And I literally put on my Facebook post, next year I'm gonna be on that stage. Watch. The next year, I went to that audition and I was on that stage. I booked the job. And then the following year, I booked the job again. So it just took off from there. But I have had experiences where I always didn't get the audition, but I never beat myself up about it because I've learned as I've gotten older, you're going to be where you're supposed to be. God going to place you in the room you're supposed to be in. A lot of times we beat ourselves up because we think it's us and it's not us. You can do everything you're supposed to do in your power, and you're not in that room. And it might not even be because you're a talent. You're not in that room because maybe God sees something that he don't want you to experience. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's blessings. I mean, it's things on the other side that we may not see, that may not be suited for us. So it's actually protecting us, you know, in that moment. So as I've gotten older, I've learned that, like, don't beat yourself up. Like, you know, just keep doing, you keep training, keep working. Somebody's gonna see you're gonna be where you're supposed to be. So yeah.
No, what you just said earlier summed it up when you talked about the managers and individuals wanted you to come out, you know, leave school, and you was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm gonna stand 10 toes down, because what's meant for me is meant for me. That is sounds so easier said than done. So I want people to understand that takes courage.
Yes,
and
it does.
And to be that courageous, you have to have a faith and a belief in yourself and higher. You were scared, but you stood on your faith. You stood on your belief, and that belief and faith, because courage is that. Like Nelson Mandela said, courage is not the absence of fear. It's not the absence of it. Courage is literally doing what you need to do in spite of it being present. That is what courage is. And so you express courage, and we need to express courage. With me being in the industry, all these conversations, things that people throw out, ultimatums, and they make them diminish their talent and belief, because you think you on somebody else's timeline and expectation, and if it's meant to be for you, because this is what you summed it up. This is why I want people to drill into their hearts and their minds. If it's meant to be for me, it will be. You do not have to change everything about yourself, walk away from things that don't feel right. Inside of us is always talking to us. So you knew that wasn't the thing. That sums that up. But more importantly, I always give thanks for doors that open, doors that close, things I have, things that I let go, because all of it together is literally painting the whole picture. So like you just said, not getting something would more than likely be in your best interest for the vision and desire you have for where you want to go. If you really align with your desire, those things ain't going to happen. And it will also probably more than likely spark something in you to prepare you for that next level of what's supposed to happen. So I just had to pull that out, that you brought that up. But what I want to segue into is, again, you continue to manifest through your words. When you went and got a chance to just see it, you was excited. You didn't waddle in anything. You knew whatever it was, but then you found an excitement to just go see. And when you did, it allowed you to say, I'm going to be here next time.
Yeah.
And it ain't just words, people. So let's not, I think there's this popularity of just words. There's power in words, but the emotion you put behind it, the emotion you put behind words, because we can say empty words. The emotion you put behind it is what sparks that manifestation. And you have that hunger, that desire, that knowingness that you put behind your words. Can we please just talk about real quick before we skip over this? Like you said, you put yourself next to people that you wanted to, that wanted to, you know, you will pull the best out of you. You weren't folding or crumbling. I remember when you did the Ciara. So I don't know what people need to Google for that video. I know we talked about Desi-Ray killing it, but Desi-Ray killed it when she did the Ciara. And it's crazy how you manifest. We'll get into it later. Years later, what happened with that? But you picked something that was challenging, right? And people would be looking like, what? Because the Ciara's supposed to be the thing, you know, was a thing.
Right.
And you picked that.
Right. So with that, okay, that's called what is it? Desi-Ray Ciara. And you can type Desi-Ray Ciara impression on YouTube. But so so how I had the confidence to do that, training from the dance studio, from that summer that I trained, and like I said, just taking dance classes and learning the behind the scenes operational benefits of a dance studio. I had to leave back to school early for band camp to, you know, get ready for my senior year. So I felt like me training and learning different dance styles and doing things that were uncomfortable, learning my body, feeling different things, that helped me develop another sense of confidence, because a lot of times we'll do stuff that we're used to and you get content, and then you get in a room with something that your body's not used to, and now you feel like, am I really this good? Like, you know, so I felt like me training in different styles, me taking different routes than what I was normally used to, help my confidence. So when it's called Fake the Funk, and I loved Ciara, I was like, oh my God, I want to dance with Ciara. I love Ciara. So they were like, who you gonna, I entered to do the contest or the contest. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna be Ciara. So I had got 2 dancers with me, and I got the drum majors from the band. And I was like, asked them to dance with me, and said, yeah. I literally created the dance in my room. We didn't have a dance studio. So literally in my apartment, I created the routine. I mixed the music myself, learned how to do everything. And then we met, like, I remember after like band practice, I would meet with them for like an hour, and I would teach it to them. We would practice, we would review it. Even they held me down to the point where sometimes where I had to leave and go to my other dance practice, they'll still be practicing. I come back, we'll figure it out. Performed it, the outfits, everything. I planned everything. Then like I put on the production because I knew, again, it reminded me of my talent show that I did my junior year in high school. Wow, because it was my junior year in college, and it was the same thing of putting on a production. Like I know everybody's gonna get up there based off past competitions, and they're just gonna perform but nobody's gonna actually give like the real show. And I also told myself, find her live show. Best I wanted to know what it felt like to really be on stage with her, with an artist. So I didn't want to just do one song and be done. I did a compilation of songs, and then I just invited her, and it went viral. And then she tweeted me, and she was like, that's when my Twitter name was called Lil Danger back then. And she was like, that's why I do what I do for people like you. And that right there meant a lot to me, because it was like, okay, I'm walking in my purpose. You got this. You know. So that's what a lot of people know me from. That the infamous Ciara Desi-Ray Fort Valley video. Like, oh my God, because I think I wowed myself too. But when I watched the playback, I wowed a lot of people. Everybody was like, oh my God, like you really like that was a show. And so the blessing in it is, I always felt like I want to dance here. The fact that when she had that challenge, the level up challenge. Yeah. She had the level up challenge going on. Everybody was posting their challenges. People know me to do challenges too. And they know, again, can I go back to how I got the name Lil Danger?
Yes, do that.
Because that make more sense. So I got the name Lil Danger in high school because people kept calling me. They was like, oh, she's dangerous. Like you just they kept saying dangerous. So I was like, I'm gonna go by Lil Danger. And the reason why is because you never know what you're gonna get from me. So it's gonna be a surprise every time. It's gonna be atomic feel every time. And so, because I have so much power to give and project. And so, it just stuck. And then throughout college, Lil Danger, everybody's Lil Danger. Then, what was it? Then, like I said, with the Ciara, the challenge, everybody, again, in my world, they're like, oh, Lil Danger or Dancing Desi, we know she about to kill this challenge. The same thing. We don't know what she gonna do, but we know it's gonna be something crazy. My peers to this day, when I walk in rooms, they literally like, here she come, because you never know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do sometimes. Literally, I just live. And so when I did the challenge, I didn't do the regular challenge like everyone else. I waited too late. So I was like, it's played out. I don't want to do it. She dropped the remix with Fat Man Scoop. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm about to do this one. I'm about to do it. Nobody had did this challenge yet. I literally called up my videographer and I made something up. I was feeling it already, but the remix, it was Atlanta. It was Atlanta feel, and that's what I thrive off of. The old Atlanta yeek feel, and that's what it gave. Create the routine, went viral, went crazy, and then I'm like, did she see my video? Because she didn't post my video, so I never knew if she's seen it, but Fat Man Scoop had DM me and was like, oh my God, you killed it, so I got my praise in. But I'm like, did Ciara see it? I get a call, Jamaica Craft, let's say months later, she calls me in and, for a jam session, she's like, come to the studio. So a jam session is basically just vibing. It's no pressure. You're just moving, just feeling and creating, being creatives and creating in the moment. So she played a song for me. I didn't know who this artist was, didn't know anything. She was like, I want to see what you do to this. No pressure. Played the song and it gave band. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can come to this. So I'm just dancing. And as I'm dancing, she'll pull out the camera and she'll record me. She's like, oh, okay. She'll clock what she liked that I did. Mind you, I don't know who the artist is. I don't know the music. It was just the instrumental. The next week, I got a call. Hey, are you available for a Ciara job? So I'm like, what? Again, I didn't know that was the same job. So I'm thinking of something else. So I'm like, okay, get in the room. Oh, it's Jamaica. So I'm like, okay, all right. I didn't book this job. Then they say, hey, Desi, can you create this section? So I got to choreograph a section in the music video, and the music video was Dose. And so that right there was like, oh my God. And as we were creating the video, that's when they let me know, like, oh no, who did that level up challenge? Who did the level up challenge remix? And everybody's like, that was her. So that, they confirmed, like, okay, we seen it. And, it was very meaningful for me because I got to spend 30 minutes, a long time with Ciara by myself, like just making sure she knew the routine and she was comfortable and she had any questions. And again, I'm just like, girl, you in here choreographed for Ciara, like, what? This is not. And so me being me, I'm being vocal. I had to ask her, did she remember? I was like, can I tell you something? And she was like, what's up? When I said, can I show you something? She's like, yeah, what's up? And I pulled up the tweet that she did sent me. Mind you, this is 2019, I believe, 2018, 2019.
2018.
2018.
Mm-hmm.
When I did the Ciara video challenge in college, that was 2011. So I had that tweet and I showed her and she was like, I said, do you remember this? And she was like, wow, I actually do remember that. And she looked at me and I was like, yeah. So that was it was just like, you said what you wanted to do and you did it. Like, and so that's, I've been blessed to experience a lot of moments like that. Even I did it with Missy. Like, I want to dance with Missy. I'm going to do this. I did a Missy concept video. Same thing. Dancing with Missy now, so you have to, it like we say, be vocal about your manifestations, your prayers, of what you want, but you actually too have to put the action behind it. So you can't
just about to say that.
I want it. Okay, yeah, you want it. Somebody else want it too. But I literally was just talking to someone about this today. Like, talent means nothing. It's that talent alone is not gonna make you get it. It's much more that you have to put in to actually receive it. And that's just like the next person. Like, okay, I'm a dancer. This person's a dancer. She may be more talented than me, but is she putting in more time to perfect her craft so she can actually get this? If we both trying to get this, are you actually putting in as much time? No, I'm good over here because I know I can dance, but okay, now you slipping. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of investing in yourself and your craft so that you can make sure you stay on top, because the next person is right up under you, at any moment can slip it from you. So you just gotta stay on your feet.
Absolutely. And I was gonna say the exact same thing. Is those steps. You can have that belief, you can have that, the unwavering thoughts, but you put action behind that. That goes back to the saying of faith without works is dead. And for those who don't, say, okay, well, I'm not going religious, whatever you do, if you think about something, nothing's moving until you get up and put that thought in action. You could sit all day and say, I'm thinking this. Okay, you think it. I believe this. Okay, you believe it. But if you believe it and you think it, action will follow. And what you just said, though, yes, you were blessed because you walked in your blessing. Walked, a verb, walked in your blessing is an action. You walked in it by, like you said, you choreographed that whole situation when you did the Ciara thing, right? So your steps are organized. There's no coincidence. There's just connecting of dots. And you were doing that stuff then, and then you continue to walk, and look how connected. You literally choreographed that situation. You go out to the Ciara situation and look what you did in 2018. So it ain't just Ciara. I'm going to name drop. Some people, humble, but I'm going to do it. Only reason why I say name drop and I put it in quotes is because you have to hear this blessing where you cannot limit yourself, that there's people out there, no matter how high you see them or where you put them, who needs your blessing as well. I mean, like she just said, with Ciara, Missy, New Edition, BBD, Moneybag Yo, City Girls, Miss Latto, Snoop, Nelly, Saweetie, and then TV shows. You heard her. So the hunger, I mean, BET, award shows, so many things. But Desi, if you listen to her story, been doing this in the unquote no name situation. It's the same thing, just transfer to what people put names on, you know, big names as in celebrated people or TV shows, but she's already been doing it and giving it the same 100. You know, some people won't give it their all unless there's a certain shine behind it. Mm-hmm. You wore the shine and you've been giving it no matter if you dancing in front of FVSU, if you dancing in front of your videographer, or if you dancing in front of Ciara or Missy. It's been the same energy. And that's why they call you Danger, because they never knew what they was going to get. You just knew you was in your blessing, that you was about to bless everybody. I don't care what stage I'm on right now. Yeah. So that's what I want people to hear and understand. All right. So the next thing I want to point out is that not only are you doing this and you see it for you, the one thing that does exude from you is how you know that you are a blessing. You've said before that, you know, you want to inspire, you want to motivate, you want to uplift, you want to bring love, and you do that in what you do. Mm-hmm. And you also do it in opportunities you can give people. You teach classes. Mm-hmm. Talk about that a little bit. You teach classes.
So I'm about to start back. I took a little break, but about to start back soon. I've started back taking private lessons. I'm at private classes for people, but at one point I was teaching 13 classes at one time from ages 3 to adult. So the variety of classes and just people that attendees that would take I learned and I grew, and it helped me, you know, be patient and understand what the needs of people were. I taught hip hop, taught pole, I taught lap dance, I taught fitness, twerk, taught it all. And, you know, those were the fun moments. But again, I had to step back for a second just because I was teaching too many people on top of coaching. So I also am the coach of Fort Valley Phases, the same dance team that I danced on, driving 2 hours to Fort Valley, 2 hours back to Atlanta every day, on top of teaching. And, you know, it was a lot, but now I've got it under control with my schedule, to where I'm able to like balance it both, and I have a lot more help. But just with my classes, I want to put out there now that I'm accepting privates, because I've been asked a lot and I've turned it down just because I felt like, I will be honest, when you take on a lot and you give so much, sometimes you become depleted.
Yes.
And can't pour from an empty glass. And I felt like it's starting to feel like work. And something that I love should not feel like work. And I had to pull back for a second and like, okay, pour into you. Give yourself that same love you give out. With me, I'm such a giving person. I'm, first and foremost, not a hater. Never been a hater. Don't even know what that feels like. And I say that because when it comes time to give advice, you will have a lot of people, and even me, I've experienced that, will not give you advice. They will not give you nuggets of knowledge. They want you to learn the hard way because they had to go through it. No, if I could help somebody avoid any mistake that I made, by all means, this is how I did it. I want you to avoid making it. Be better than me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are afraid because they're not content with who they are and where they are. They're not confident with their current state of life. So it's like they feel threatened by the next person. No, I know I'm very confident in all that I do, and I know I'm gonna be where I'm supposed to be. So me helping the next person, I look at it as a blessing. I'm helping you out. I'm giving you, you know, if people DM me, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? And again, I try to respond to as many people as I can. When I teach my classes, after classes, like, you know, what can I work on? Like, I'm getting asked so many questions, and, you know, where I can help, I try to offer as much help as I can give. Even, again, giving back free time. If anytime there's community events or something volunteer wise, always there. Like, if I could help you, if I could talk to the next person, especially youth, I love kids. Just, you know, a lot of kids just need somebody guidance. They just need guidance. And so love going back, hey, I don't mind, because again, I look at it as how we saying, you know, spiritual, religious. A lot of times, I'm be honest, I don't get to make it to church. I don't go to church like I should, and just whatever the reason is. But you can pay tithes in other ways. You don't have to go to church to pay tithes. You can pay tithes in your time. You can pay tithes your, you know, with money. I invest in so many organizations, like donating, again, my time. I donate so much of my time that again it makes me happy to make other people happy. So yes, with my classes, people used to love coming. They're like, oh my God, like, you know, you're gonna leave feeling energized. I'm gonna lift you up. I'm not here to make you feel any less than you walk in, because a lot of people, like when I taught beginner hip hop, a lot of people are coming into my class feeling intimidated, like scared, fearful, because they don't know what the outcome gonna be. But when you leave, you're gonna feel like, oh, I want to come back. Like she uplifted me. That's the goal, to uplift you. You know, it's even when I taught my competition kids I'm gonna be a little harder on them. I'm not gonna break you down, but I'm gonna let you know where you can improve, and I'm gonna build you up. So we need more building up, because we have too many people breaking another down without helping correct me to help better me.
You're right, because like you said, that's their fear of them. But again, you have to own, because no matter those who have that fear to give back, even if you don't do it, because they possess that type of fear anyway, they're going to be stopped in their blessing. You have to release and trust within your own self. And like you said, you shouted out Kiki, but also Bankhead. You have people around you that I see you constantly shout out. I don't even know him personally, and I feel his light. This is why it's important how you shine in your light. I feel his light through your light eliminating. That's when you know that man is walking in. It feel like I know him. I'm like, dang, this man have a bright light. What he's doing.
I just say, like, I'm so thankful for Sean. Like, wow, that gave me chills, because he is so impactful. Like, Sean, he's been doing this since he was a teenager, and so, you know, he's been so blessed. But Sean, I credit Sean so much. I give Sean anything that man need, I got him, because
I know that's right.
From the beginning of my career, like if you look at my resume, 90% you're gonna see Bankhead. And so for me, again, just with being athlete, being an entertainer, along the way, we all experience where, you know, you start to get a little older, and you might not be you might not be as good as you were, or you got somebody younger come in, might be, you know, that will outshine you. This is in any field. But I've stayed true, and I've, you know, as I've gotten older, I've still been, you know, training, keeping myself in shape, keeping my everything intact. Sean gonna call me. Like, I remember, I want to say this story. I remember when I used to train in his classes again in college. This man didn't know me from a can of paint. He had this group called the Bad Girls Club, going crazy on YouTube. And I would look up to them, and literally I'm in college watching this like group. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be in that Bad Girls Club. I don't know how I'm being, but I'm being this Bad Girls Club. So when I got the chance to take his master classes, that was a pro for me, being an intern. Like, oh my God, I get to actually train with people that I see that are working with the artists that I want to be with. So okay, great for me. Every time I would see Sean, I would tap him, and I'm like, I know you don't know me, but I'm being your Bad Girls Club. And he started remembering me from that. He was like, who is this girl? And I'm like, I know I probably sound crazy. This man probably think I'm crazy, but I'm like so serious. So I, you know, started taking, when I'm in his classes, he started noticing me, like, okay. And I started getting called out to where, okay, he sees something in after class, or like when we would speak to a choreographer, he would like, okay, I want you to work on this. Like, he would start giving me tips. So I'm like, okay, he sees me. My first time getting called out in class, oh my God, like, I gotta send you the video, but I couldn't believe it. I got called out, because that used to be the thing. You want to get called out, even though that's not the ultimate goal, but to be called out is like, oh my God, okay, I'm seen. So now I have to shine. I have to deliver what they seen in me. Killed it, did what I was supposed to do. And then, like I said, from there, I started getting invited to Bankhead auditions. I didn't get all of them, but I didn't care, because I was in the room. That's all. I'm like, I'm in the room, so I'm about to stay in the room. That's the goal. And from there, I showed that I could. My first award show with him was the BET Hip Hop Awards. It was my first award show ever, 2015, with Rich Homie Quan. performed, and from there I've been working. Sean has kept me working, so I have to get all shout out to Sean. Love you, Sean, because this man, Grammys, the VMAs, the literally I've done every award show there is a name. The only award show I've not done is the Oscars and the Grammys, and that's, I'm gonna say yet, because I'm gonna do them, but I've every award show you can name,
Billboard, and all of it,
Billboard awards, and 90% of those award shows I did with Bankhead. So I'm very, that man, yes.
We appreciate you, Bankhead. I don't even know you, and I would do something for you for free, because that's what happens in life, is when you shine like that. That's why it's not good to be so gray and so dark. Have a light, because there's so many things that will open up for you. I don't even know you, Sean, and I know your light just from another light that have been shining. So big ups to you. But just like what Sean and Kiki and all that have done for you, and people that support you and family, I do want to say this to you, because you made a good point where you said you felt depleted. And one thing I've learned, because I'm a person of service and give to people, and I learned really quickly, and this is being in alignment. When you're in alignment, see, what we don't need to get, the trickery is, we think that as spiritually connected people, we're just supposed to just give and just serve. No, we're supposed to have discernment. And when we feel depleted is when, because there's energy of distraction, there's energy of depletion. We may link up with people that are vampires, right? That's disguised in needing your help. But just like Bankhead poured in you, you are someone that will fill him up. He won't be depleted in a you. Those are the type of people that we need to be in a discernment and alignment before we even give our gifts out, to make sure that that is the energy we're supposed to connect with. I learned when I started feeling depleted, those weren't the people I was supposed to give to. Those were things coming in certain disguises. I feel filled up when I am connected and giving to those people with a certain intention and light and knowingness. So when you start feeling like that, it's more than I'm just spreading myself thin. It's you're spreading your energy to things that are zapping it, and it's not supposed to. If you were helping 100 Desis, you will feel so full. You wouldn't feel depleted. So just know in your continual service that when you give private lessons or any lessons, stay under your discernment, stay aligned, because some people do get no's, and it's supposed to be a no. So do recognize that. But
yes.
So again, Miss History making of Juneteenth. Let's talk about that. But anyways, definitely glow up. Yesterday's price is not today's price. As you said,
look, add Diddy to the list.
That's why I said add Diddy. That's why yesterday's price is not today. All of it is not. So you're evolving, and we show gratitude to individuals who evolve. You evolve, it should be showered on you. That is a gift. Oh, I know what I wanted to say before we moved on, because I want to talk about balloonitize. You brought up, I don't get a chance to go to church like that. A building, the four walls, is a place we congregate with hopefully like-minded people. But when we talk about the God within us, it goes anywhere we go, that's where it's at. And again, in time, treasure, talent is how we're spewing the reflection of that God spirit that we have. It has nothing to do with being in four walls. You can go there, feel good, hopefully, rejuvenate around people. But the actual energy, spirit, universal power we're aligning to, God, that's what, when you see me, that's when you see it. And I want people, when you do see me, you shouldn't have to go to a church to learn it. When you see me, you should see it.
Because God is within us, yes.
Within us, and walk with me every way. All right, so you have the talent, like you said, but you also, one thing I want to tell people with talents and gifts, you have so many in you. You are an entrepreneur on all different levels. Balloonitize, amazing gift you have with that artistry as well. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, my company, Balloonitize Events. It's an event. I'm an event planning company. And I started it in 2015. That was like my first time doing parties, experimenting. I did it for my friend Gabby, her daughter's first birthday. I've always, again, been creative. Like, I can draw, I can paint, I can sculpt. I love art. I love all type of art. So anything that I want made, like, again, from high school, making props, I was gonna make it. Like, I knew how to do it all. So when I got into events, I'm like, okay, I can do this. But I didn't take it as seriously until the pandemic. So I would do parties here and there, but nothing as serious. Sorry, the sun is shining on me, shining the light.
Yes, that's look at that light, acknowledge and bows to that light. I see it.
But yeah, so 2020 pandemic hit, and it was culture shock for us all because the world stopped for us in the entertainment industry. We were not working. I remember coming back. I had just did iHeartRadio performance with Lil Baby, and we came back in from LA and shut down everything. No concerts, no anything. So I was like, okay, I thought this would be temporary, but it lasted longer than expected. So we went from dancing every day to not dancing. So I'm like, okay, that was my mainstream income. What you gonna do? In college, additional to all the other things I did, a money avenue for me was I did hair. So, any extra money, I was doing some locks. I was doing all type of hair. But, here I am post college. I don't do any of that anymore. So it's like, what you gonna do? Started my business. And that's when I got my LLC for it, and I started doing events. I'm like, one thing people not gonna do, whether they don't care if it's COVID or not, they gonna party. And so I started practicing my craft, and I started, looking at learning on YouTube, just learning different techniques. Then I actually started attending classes. I took 2 classes, just trying to learn other techniques that I might not know, like anything like how to price things. And I'm still learning, I'm still investing, because I can only get better from what I do. But yeah, I would say I've been blessed to it's evolved, and it's been evolving by word of mouth, because I honestly have not pushed it as hard as I need to, and that's what I'm working on right now. My website will be up by the end of this year, so people will be able to literally go to the website, choose which type of if you were to just choose like a balloon, like you want a certain garland, say if you want like a half garland, you'll be able to choose a specific garland, and then you'll be able to like design what you actually want, so you can kind of see a preview of what it is that you actually want. But I've been blessed. All my clients have been word of mouth. And now it's to the point now where I'm like, okay, I got to hire people, because you can't do it by yourself. And it's not even just balloons that I'm doing. I'm doing full events. I'm doing Sweet 16. I'm doing dinner parties. I have a wedding, my first wedding in October. I'm super excited about. So I'm thankful that I have another stream of income, because, again, as an entertainer, dance alone is not going to do it for you. You have to have multiple streams of income to sustain a lifestyle, a comfortable lifestyle, because, gigs get slow. You're not going to always be booked and blessed every time. We do have drought season. It does slow down. So when it slows down, what are you going to do? You going to sit there? I don't see myself ever working for anybody, and no shades to anybody that do. I just always, that was never for me. Like, I tried it. It's never for me. I love being my own boss. I love creating my own schedule. I'm in control of how much money I make by how much work I put in. And so, I'm not confined to a system like, okay, I have to go clock in. I got to do this. I'm only going to make this. I can make 10 times that in the less amount of time by the talents that I have. So you just have to apply yourself. So balloonitized events, you need any birthday parties, weddings, baby showers, let me know. I'm your girl. Balloonitized events is my email, balloonitized@gmail.com.
So please follow that. I'm definitely going to get something done, because I've looked at her stuff. If you haven't seen some, she only shared a little bit of stuff on IG, but it's so beautiful. So I'm definitely going to do it. So please look into that. One thing that she just pointed out, Desi just pointed out, is, and it's not even her being in the dance industry that you got to find other streams. I would like to arguably say, whatever it is you're doing, even if you're doing something lucrative, never suppress these desires that come up in you. They come up in you for a reason. I don't have a desire to do balloonitize, right? So there's a reason that desire came in her. Whatever desires you have, never believe the voice or the outer people who put impressions on your mind that you're not supposed to do all that. How do you do all that you do, right? No, what you have is what you're supposed to share with the world. Now, how you do it, how you structure it, when it lays out, that's something that's orchestrated within you for you. But no, like she just said, you're never too old to start. And there's never too many things that you have for you, even when you're comfortable. Like for myself, and you're passing on things, right? And you're enjoying life to the fullest. I always tell myself, I'm living my fullest. I'm living my best life, my fullest life. That means I can't see myself just serving as an attorney. I don't just serve as a speaker. I don't just serve as a podcast. I'm doing it all. It's one tree with different branches that is sharing the fruit of my gifts. That's the fruit that's on all the branches. And so there you go. And that's what you do. So that's why I want you to really catch her.
Good.
Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? The tree branches the fruit of the light. And so again, Desi-Ray's absolutely amazing. I'm sure most who watch this already know who she is. If you don't, when you Google, you're going to follow everything. Follow her on IG. Go ahead and look at those YouTube. Desi's killing it. And the Desi-Ray, Ciara. I don't know. A bunch of stuff might come up now when they do that.
Right. Look, that's something I would say. I got to do better on my YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, but you've
done so much with the Ciara thing, though. They may get that video, but they're going to get a lot of other things.
Yeah, within my other videos, I definitely have to update my personal YouTube channel so you can see it's time for me to share more what I have. Like, you know, I have so much content, so many BTS moments, being on jobs, like, yeah.
And we know that when you see this now match it up to hearing the story, because we always see the glory, but we don't realize we chase the part that we usually show you our results. But now you hear you had someone who was dedicated. You had someone who put herself in uncomfortable positions. You had someone who have a knowingness, a faith, a belief, someone who's courageous, someone who's disciplined, focused. We can't negate all those things, right? So now that you see the outcome, now understand the ingredients that goes into it. And that's how she's continuing to have her breakthroughs. This is just the beginning. The sky's the floor. This is just the beginning, but she has that substance. So if you're looking to be inspired and motivated and uplifted by someone like Desi, listen to the whole story, look at everything, and then re-examine yourself and get aligned with that. And let me mind you, before we give her closing words, she kills it on the skates too. And when she talks about danger, you have to look up this flying squirrel. Like I had to go back. The height off the ground.
Listen.
That's why danger. The flying squirrel. No.
Oh no. If they go look at the YouTube video from the one Desi-Ray killing it, 2008, I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna put it side by side. That was the first time I did that move. And I used to do the moves I did it off my knuckles. Because when I performed, I had powder in my hand when I did my little trick. So I did it off my knuckles, and I got up, but it was still dope, but it wasn't hot. Over the years, I've done the move so much, and to the point where I've tried to retire the move, and then I would get on jobs and they're like, what's that move you do? And I would say Sabrina. I have to get out Sabrina because I didn't have a name for it. And my manager at the Dance for One at the time, she was like, girl, you like a flying squirrel. And I was like, what? I thought, just cracking, but it stuck. And then it was like, oh no, that's the flying squirrel. So I was like, I gotta give it a shout out, because that move, I can't get away from it. But now I get up so high.
Man.
Oh my God. I scare myself sometimes because when my adrenaline is going, yeah.
First of all, when your adrenaline going, it's over. Like you're dangerous on different levels. Not just dangerous in the stunt, but you dangerous in killing. You dangerous in making people face tear up, like watching it, like God, dog. I mean, Desi whole body, the knees, the athleticism. She just goes into a realm. That's all I can explain. She goes into a realm, and you can feel the power. It's amazing how your craft is not just dance. Everything she's explaining about what makes her up, you feel that in the delivery of everything you do. So it is absolutely a no-brainer. What do you want to leave the listeners and viewers with? Because you killed it. You fed them. I know.
I would say to stay true to yourself. Stay true to yourself, pour into yourself. And so I always go with this quote: defeat the defeated before the defeated defeats you. And I'll say it again: defeat the defeated before the defeated defeats you. Stay prayed up, Don't question yourself. Know that you're gonna be okay. A lot of times we doubt ourselves. Know that fear doesn't exist in our world. You're gonna be in the room you're supposed to be in, and at the end of the day, understand that your life is already written out for you. God has already written out the lifestyle for you, and it's just be patient with the process to how it's gonna turn out.
And what she just shared with you are not just empty words, because literally, play it back if you need to. Watch it again and listen on all major streams. You can listen and watch her. Everything she left you with is literally what she also lived out. Sometimes you get empty words from people and they want to just tell you it. Everything she just shared, she has lived out and is continuing to live out. So please take it in, soak it in. I wish you the best, and let your light continue to shine as bright as Desi-Ray's light. Thank you for listening to another segment of Conversate and Elevate. The more you know, the more you grow, but the more you share, the more we all glow. Thank you so much, Desi-Ray. We appreciate you.
I still call you coach.
I still call me